Cambodia, year 1200 AD. You are looking at 5 stone towers rising above the jungle canopy in the shape of lotus buds. The tallest reaches 65 meters. It was completed 50 years ago. It took 37 years to build. This is Angkor Wat, a temple to the Hindu god Vishnu, built by a king named Suryavarman II as both a place of worship and as his own tomb. In front of the temple, a rectangular pond sits at a precise angle to the causeway. It was not an accident of landscaping, it was engineered. The reflection of the 5 towers in that water, doubled, inverted, shimmering, was designed to be seen. Someone understood that the image of heaven is more powerful when it appears twice. What you are seeing now is grey sandstone. That is not what Angkor Wat looked like in 1200 AD. The towers were painted, red, gold, black, vivid colour applied across the stone surfaces that we now see bare. Traces of pigment survive in sheltered corners, enough to know that the pale ruins tourists photograph today look almost nothing like what stood here. The grey stone is what time made it. The painted towers are what the Khmer built. Twice a year at the spring and autumn equinoxes, the sun rises in precise alignment with the central tower. From the western causeway, a visitor at dawn would watch the sun appear to balance directly on the tower's peak, the light of heaven touching the home of the god at the exact midpoint of the year. This was not coincidence. The entire structure was oriented to make this happen. The entire structure faces west. Every other major temple in this region faces east, toward the rising sun, toward life. Angkor Wat faces west, toward the setting sun, toward death, toward the realm of the dead. It was built to be a mausoleum. It was built to last forever. Both of these things are true. Between 3,000 and 4,000 people lived inside these walls, not the wealthy elite. Archaeologists assumed the enclosure was reserved for the privileged. LiDAR scans revealed the truth. Modest dwellings, perishable materials, ordinary domestic life. The people who lived here were temple staff, priests, dancers, musicians, craftsmen, officials, servants. A Hindu temple is not a church. It is not a gathering place. A Hindu temple is the home of the god. Angkor Wat was where Vishnu lived. The staff were there to serve him, to maintain his house, perform the rituals, keep the dances alive at every hour of every day. The whole operation required 25,000 people. And 5 times that number, 125,000 more, grew food and delivered it just to keep those 25,000 fed. All of this for a god who may or may not have been paying attention. Now pull back, cross the moat, 3.5 miles around, 600 feet wide, cross the sandstone causeway 500 meters long, lined with stone serpents whose heads fan out at either end like something that cannot decide whether it is protecting you or warning you. Keep going, past the outer walls, past the rice fields, past the canals that feed them. What surrounds Angkor Wat is not jungle, not in 1200 AD. What surrounds Angkor Wat is a city of 1 million people, not the largest city in Asia, the largest city on Earth. 1,000 square kilometers of roads, canals, temples, rice fields, and homes. 72 major temples. Angkor Wat is the grandest, but it is one of 72. A water system so sophisticated it can grow rice 3 or 4 times a year in a country that receives no rain for 6 months. This is Angkor. The world knows it now as ruins. But in 1200 AD, Angkor is the center of the world. This is a reconstruction of a single day inside it. You are in the market. It opens at dawn and closes at midday. Every day, without exception. There are no stalls here, no tables, no permanent structures, just traders sitting cross-legged on woven mats on the open ground. You pay for your space in rice, larger transactions in cloth. There is no coin here. There has never been coin here. The city runs on rice and cloth and fish paste and the logic of water moving exactly where it is needed. The smell that defines this city is prahok, fish paste, dried and wrapped in banana leaves. The main protein for most of the people who live here. The Tonle Sap Lake, 12 miles south, swells to 4 times its size in the wet season, producing fish in quantities that seem impossible until you see them. It is the smell of a city that is very much alive. Most people live in houses on stilts above the ground. The flooding is not a disaster here, it is the calendar. When the waters rise, you move upstairs. When they recede, you move back down. The houses are bamboo and palm and wood. They leave almost no trace. Centuries from now, archaeologists will find the stone temples and wonder where everyone lived. They lived here, in houses the jungle consumed before anyone thought to look for them. On the walls of the Bayon Temple, built just a few years before this morning, the daily life of this city has been carved in stone. Fishermen, traders, women selling rice, men playing a chess-like game in the shade, a cockfight, a man receiving medicine. Someone decided these scenes, not the battles, not the gods, were worth carving into temple walls forever. Someone thought, this is what should be remembered. They were right. It is almost the only record we have. Back inside the galleries of Angkor Wat, the walls carry the longest continuous bas-relief in the world, almost half a mile of carved stone, and carved into every surface, the Apsaras. More than 1,000 of them, celestial dancers, each one unique, different headdresses, different expressions, some serene, some almost smiling, some looking directly at you across 900 years. Nobody knows the names of the craftsmen who carved them. Whether any of them were the same people who sat on mats in the market this morning, paying rice for the right to sell their fish. The stone doesn't say. Sometime in the mid-1200s, the people of Angkor stopped maintaining the canals. Not all at once, not dramatically. Just gradually, the work of keeping the water moving in the right direction began to fall behind. Then came the droughts, decades of them in the 14th century. Tree rings in the forests around Angkor still carry the record of those dry years. Then floods. The infrastructure drought had weakened, the floods destroyed. People moved south, toward Phnom Penh, toward water they could rely on. The temples remained, too large to dismantle, too sacred to abandon. But the city that had surrounded them, the million people, the markets, the smell of prahok and canal water, the houses on stilts, that city was gone. The jungle moved in the way jungles do, quietly, persistently, one route at a time. In 1860, a French naturalist named Henri Mouhot pushed through the undergrowth of northern Cambodia and found stone towers rising above the canopy. He wrote afterward that he could not believe a civilization capable of this had ever existed, and left no trace in Western knowledge. He was standing in the trace, he just couldn't see it yet for all the trees.